Imagine walking through a forest so dark that you can't even see your own hands. Every sound could mean death. Every step could lead to capture. Behind you, armed slave hunters with dogs. Ahead, nothing but uncertainty. Now imagine carrying not just your own life, but the lives of dozens of terrified men, women, and children who trust only one person to save them. That woman was Harriet Tubman. She became one of the greatest freedom fighters in American history. But almost every mission she led came with one terrifying possibility: that she would never return alive. Tonight, we're uncovering the unbelievable true story of the woman who risked everything to free hundreds from slavery, and paid a price few could ever imagine. This is Unshackled Histories. Born into chains. Around 1822, on Maryland's eastern shore, a little girl named Araminta Ross entered a world already determined to own her. She wasn't born free. She was born property. Before she could even understand what freedom meant, she learned the language of fear. The crack of the whip. The cries of families being separated forever. Children sold away from their mothers. Every sunrise meant another day of forced labor. Every sunset meant surviving one more day. Even as a child, Harriet refused to let slavery break her spirit. She fought back whenever she could. And that courage would soon nearly cost her life. The blow that changed everything. One afternoon, Harriet was sent into a general store. A young enslaved man was trying to escape. The overseer demanded Harriet help stop him. She refused. The overseer picked up a heavy iron weight and hurled it. He missed the fleeing man. Instead, it struck Harriet directly in the head. Blood poured down her face. She nearly died. For weeks she hovered between life and death. She was never truly the same again. The injury caused seizures, intense headaches, and sudden moments where she would collapse into deep sleep without warning. Many believed she had become weak. Instead, that injury made her stronger than anyone imagined. Harriet later believed her vivid dreams and powerful visions were messages from God guiding her path. Those visions became her compass, choosing freedom. By 1849, Harriet faced a terrible reality. Her owner was deeply in debt. She knew what happened next. She could be sold at any moment, sold farther south, never to see her family again. So one cold night, she made the impossible decision. She would escape, alone, no map, no protection, no guarantee of survival, only the North Star above her. Moving through swamps, crossing rivers, hiding during daylight, walking through darkness, every sound made her freeze. Every barking dog could mean capture. The reward posters spread quickly. Slave catchers searched everywhere, but somehow, against impossible odds, Harriet crossed into Pennsylvania. For the first time in her life, she was free. She later said, "I looked at my hands to see if I was the same person. There was such glory over everything. Yet freedom didn't feel complete, because everyone she loved was still trapped." The most dangerous decision. Most people would never return. Harriet did. Again, and again, and again. She became the mysterious conductor of the Underground Railroad. There were no actual trains, no underground tunnels. It was a secret network of brave people who hid escaping slaves and guided them toward freedom. Each journey meant sneaking into slave states, finding frightened families, and leading them hundreds of miles north. At night, through forests, across rivers, past armed patrols. She carried no army, only incredible courage. Harriet often carried a pistol, not to threaten slave catchers, but to stop frightened escapees from turning back. If one person returned, everyone could be exposed. She famously warned, "You'll be free or die a slave." It was brutal, but it saved lives. America's most wanted woman. Soon, plantation owners across the South knew her name. Rewards for her capture grew larger. Some newspapers claimed thousands of dollars were offered. Wanted posters spread. People whispered about a mysterious woman called Moses, like the biblical prophet who led his people out of bondage. Harriet guided the enslaved toward freedom. Mission after mission, she never lost a passenger. Nearly 13 dangerous rescue expeditions. Roughly 70 people personally guided to freedom. Many more helped through the Underground Railroad. Each success made her even more hunted. Every return trip could have been her last. A nation at war. Then came the American Civil War. Harriet refused to stand aside. She became a nurse, a cook, a scout, a spy for the Union Army. Her knowledge of Southern roads proved priceless. In 1863, she helped plan one of the war's most daring missions, the Combahee River Raid. Union gunboats sailed into Confederate territory. Harriet guided them through dangerous waters filled with hidden mines. As plantations fell, hundreds of enslaved people ran toward the boats. Families climbed aboard with nothing but hope. More than 700 people gained freedom in a single operation. It remains one of the most successful liberation missions of the Civil War. And Harriet Tubman became the first woman in American history to help lead an armed military expedition. Freedom came, but justice didn't. The war ended, slavery was abolished, but Harriet's struggles were far from over. Despite risking her life countless times, the government delayed recognizing her military service. For years, she fought simply to receive the pension she deserved. Money was scarce, yet she continued helping others. She opened her home to elderly African Americans. She cared for those society had forgotten. She also became an outspoken supporter of women's voting rights. Because Harriet believed freedom meant more than breaking chains. Freedom meant dignity, equality, and opportunity for everyone. Chapter 8: The Final Journey. As Harriet grew older, the injuries from childhood never disappeared. The seizures became more frequent. Her body weakened, but her spirit never did. Even near the end of her life, people traveled great distances just to hear her speak. They wanted to meet the woman who had stared fear in the face and refused to surrender. In 1913, Harriet Tubman passed away peacefully. She was around 90 years old. The little girl born into slavery left this world as one of America's greatest heroes. Closing reflection. History remembers generals, kings, presidents, but sometimes, the greatest heroes carry no crown. Harriet Tubman never sought fame. She simply refused to accept that any human being should live in chains. Every journey north was a gamble with death. Every rescue mission demanded impossible courage. She could have stayed safe after winning her own freedom. Instead, she walked back into darkness. Again and again, because she believed that freedom meant nothing if she enjoyed it alone. Today, her story reminds us that true courage isn't the absence of fear. It's choosing to move forward, even when fear is walking beside you. If Harriet Tubman had been captured, history might have forgotten her. Instead, she changed history forever, and because of her bravery, hundreds of lives were transformed. Perhaps that is the greatest legacy anyone can leave. Thank you for watching Unshackled Histories. If stories of forgotten heroes inspire you, subscribe to the channel, share this video with someone who values history, and join us for another incredible journey into the past, because some stories were never meant to stay buried.